Thank you so much for that prescient address, ma'am. Now I would like to uh, invite our beloved faculty, Assistant Professor Pallavi Rajwade, to introduce the resource person for today.
Yes, thank you, Chinmay. It's my privilege to introduce the industry expert and resource person for today's SoVA Talk. I have briefly spoken to you, sir, and welcome to the session 5.
Yes.
So Dr. Shrikant Pradhan, sir, is here today, and he is an artist, art historian, and an archaeologist. Dr. Pradhan has his expertise on visual arts in Ajanta and Amravati. Dr. Shrikant has participated in various conferences and presented papers on diversified subjects, including painting traditions of Maharashtra, dimensions of iconography, Jainism in Western Deccan during the early historic period, and many, many more. I mean, I was happy to see a brief biodata of 10 pages, and sir, it's very hard to comprise and have a short description of the same. So Dr. Shrikant has received research grant from Nehru Trust for the Indian collection at the Victoria and Albert Museum from New Delhi. Also, along with his immense experience as an art critic, Dr. Shrikant has published numerous papers and has delivered lectures to benefit the artists and the history students. We are extremely fortunate to have you, sir, as a learned artist, art historian for SoVA Talks Session 5 to deliver a talk on visual dialogue on Ajanta Paintings. Over to you, sir, now. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Dr. Shruti Madam, Pallavi Madam, and our Chinmay. Thanks a lot. Actually, it was a great introduction. So, we'll start our lecture because I have a number of slides. So I think through these slides, because all students are from visual arts, so I think they will definitely understand on the visual basis. And Ajanta is a paradise of visuals. So wherever you will see at Ajanta, even a single corner is painted as well as carved as well as sculpted with beautiful sculptures and paintings. So before going that in deep in Ajanta, I must introduce that where exactly this Ajanta caves are. Most of the people in Maharashtra, even in outside of Maharashtra, they must be knowing about the place where it is. So actually, it is in, as you know, it is very close to Pune. Not very close that it is around 300 kilometers from Pune in Aurangabad district on the Jalgaon road. So these caves are, I think, even most of the people and most of the world, not most of the world, all world agree with that. These caves are actually a paradise of artist paradise. Though they are dedicated to Buddhism, that is different thing. But whatever their walls and ceilings are painted, actually these paintings are not actually the paintings, but they are the dramas of second century BCs or second first century ADs and later 5th century AD, which is the you can say that golden era of India. And in this era, you will find in Maharashtra at Ajanta the different style was developed that is known as Ajanta. Now, this style is very beautifully depicted all the beauty of nature. If you see, I will show you all how this style and these figures are composed. This, if you see that all figures, they are humans. It means that I mean to say that humans means they are exactly like us. They are depicted realistically, but they are not that realistic what we see each other. They are not outer realism. Actually there is a inner realism. If you are a beautiful from inside, then it is depicted over the walls, that beautifulness of your own which is transformed on the wall. So it means that this art these forms are not only the figures, but each and every part of that figure has the beauty of nature as well as their own atma or ownness. So we'll start that. I am not wasting much time on talking this. While while showing slides to discuss on this, I am sharing my screen here.
Yes, sir. So as you do that, I'll just like to tell you that our entire class of first year is listening to the lecture from the class itself through the smart board that is there in the classroom, and they will start the video after some time, but just for your information.
Yeah, it's okay. So
No,
I
I am
think, am
saying this
I
because
audible perfectly?
yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So is my screen is there on your laptop or on your
Yes,
screen?
yes, sir. Just you need to put it on presentation mode. We are
Yeah, but
not seeing the
I
presentation.
think, okay.
It's still coming on, sir.
Is it okay?
No, sir. Can you stop share and again share the presentation mode, because right now we are just seeing your regular mode. After putting on presentation, when you share, it will come as presentation.
What happened? Yes.
Once you have put it on presentation mode, then if you go to share, then you will get that window.
Yeah, I'm actually. Is it okay now?
No, sir. What is happening is we are able to see not the presentation mode. So what I'm saying, sir, I'll just guide you.
Yeah.
Once you stop the share, you go to your presentation, start the presentation,
Yes, yes, yes.
and then when
Yes,
you
start
are
already.
then when you're saying share, na sir, you can share the first screen, that is the screen of your
Yeah, it's there.
leftmost.
This is.
Select the screen part where you can see myself and yourself, and then that will be good.
I think there is some problem. I think. Yes, I'm sharing.
Yes, yes.
The same thing I've done.
No worries, sir. Take your time.
Is it okay now?
But
Is
it's
that
okay,
okay?
sir.
Are
It
you-
is still on the what do I say?
Yeah.
It
I'm sharing the same presentation mode.
presentation mode, sir. Instead of sharing the presentation, if you just share the screen that you have, the first
Yeah,
option
I've
that
already shared. Some caves are very big. That is Viharas and Chaityas, including all. If you count that, some people say that because of counting even small caves also, they say that these all are 30 and 29. But we know that if you visit Ajanta, you can reach only up to the 26. Otherwise, number of other caves which are on the top of these caves, these caves are not that much, you cannot reach there. So altogether, these are 26 29 caves, 39 caves, 30 caves, and up to 26 cave you can go. Now, here, this is actually, this must be, you must be knowing that he is a Yang Shuang or Yang Zhang. He started from China in 629 and reached in between after that, after 4 years of traveling, he reached in India. He visited a number of places, a number of Buddhist places, and he collected number of scriptures for translating into Chinese. And while he was on the in the when he visited in Maharashtra, he actually mentioned about Ajanta caves, but he has not visited that caves. But whatever description he has written in his visit, that actually suits for Ajanta caves only, because whatever he described, that there is a river which is flowing in front of this cave, and and the huge cliff is there. In that cliff, you will find there are a number of viharas and chaityas, and all these viharas and chaityas are painted with Jataka stories or Buddha's birth stories in these caves. And there is a monk called Mahalacho. Sorry, there is a monk called Ajita. So he is holding all those things, and he says that this is the caves. Even in these caves, there you will find two elephants are there, and while they are running on the earth, you will feel the trampling of earth. You will feel the sound of trampling of the earth. Now, this description exactly suits to the Ajanta caves. But what he says about elephants and all, they are running. If you'll find that they are running on the surface of earth, you will feel that earthquake-like thing. So that is something strange. But why he has written all those things? We'll see how this some accidental things are turned into the stories. We'll see that next. So this is the Yuanshan, and after 6th 7th century AD, when Yuanshan wrote about the visit of Ajanta, not visit exactly his visit to Ajanta. He heard about Ajanta from some pilgrimage, and he wrote the description of Ajanta. And all those description of Ajanta, these caves, which is exactly suits to the Ajanta caves. Now, after 7th century AD, we don't know anything about Ajanta. What happened with Ajanta? Where was Ajanta? We don't know anything about that. Here in India, that British Raj took over the powers of political powers here. And while traveling of this British armies, such as Madras infantry, they visited there at Ajanta, and there are soldiers who actually, for a hunting expedition, they went inside the cliff of or the gorge is there. The huge gorge is there,
Sir,
and huh.
प्रधान सर, मी थोडंसं डिस्टर्ब करते तुम्हाला.
हा.
मला असं वाटतंय की तुम्ही
हा.
स्लाइड्स पुढे नेताय, पण आम्हाला त्या पुढे गेलेल्या
हा.
दिसत नाहीयेत.
ओके, अशा दिसतात का आता?
आता दिसतायत. येस, अशा
दिसताय?
दिसतायत. हो, आता हो.
ओके. हा, मग अशाच दाखवतो मी आता.
हो सर, हो.
चालेल ना?
येस सर, येस सर.
कारण
थँक्यू.
मला वाटतं माझा काहीतरी प्रॉब्लेम आहे इथे बहुतेक.
नाही, इट्स ओके नाव.
रिले होत
हे
नाहीये
असं
बरोबर.
दिसतंय सर. दिस इज फाईन.
Okay. Okay. So in 19th century, so these British army officers, they went for a hunting expedition, and they went inside the gorge, and they found there is something man-made or man-made carving inside the cliff. They went inside, and they found this Ajanta caves. Now, one soldier who went inside, actually the soldiers, when they were on the top of this cliff, they saw a beautiful scenery, horseshoe scenery of this Ajanta, and they went inside this gorge, and they found they climbed up this area, and they reached in cave number 10, modern cave number 10. These numbers are given just our Archaeological Survey of India. So here it is in the central, that is huge Chaitya. They went inside. So this is the route actually. This is modern route. Once you will start from cave number 1, you will reach up to the cave number 26. So when the soldiers went inside, they saw there is a pillar. They saw that the pillar was painted, and one of the soldier who wrote his name on this painting on the chest of this Buddha, and he wrote that here. You will see the inscription is here, that I will show you a very close here, that John Smith, 26th Cavalry, and the date is 28 of 1819. So this is the first inscription. Actually, this is destruction of painting, and we all have a very bad habit. Whenever we go in monument or to see monument, we used to write our name. So this is one of the early bad habit of British soldier, who wrote his name on the chest of Buddha. But now this is considered as one of the evidence of after 7th century AD, and first man who visited inside the caves. That was his name. That was John Smith was his name, and he went there in 28th March 1819. Now this day, these soldiers actually collect all those data. All those data, I mean, whatever they saw, they immediately reported to their officers. And that was the day. After 7th century AD, Ajanta caves were discovered. Later, this discovery actually became very, very interesting, very, very big discovery in India, because earlier there was a thought that Britishers actually spread rumor this that Indians, they don't have any knowledge, they don't have any culture in art and architecture. Whatever we see there, huge monuments are there in India. These monuments are not Indian, but they are all Alexandrian. So this was the conception. When they saw this, actually they found that Indian had a great tradition of art and architecture. And similarly, number of scholars who attracted there started writing over Ajanta paintings, or Ajanta architecture, and many other aspects of Ajanta. Similarly, there were number of monuments they discovered in India, and they started collecting data of this monuments through art, architecture, and even the religious thoughts behind this monuments. Now, coming back to Ajanta, the magnificent group of rock-cut caves at Ajanta is situated in the Aurangabad district of Maharashtra. These caves are world famous for mural paintings from both the Heenan and Mahayana ideologies. Now, this Heenan and Mahayana, what exactly these are? First, you will understand these ideologies. I'm not going to tell you any deep this ideology because it has a vast theory in Heenan and Mahayana. Simply, I can say Heenanist Buddhism, they believed in symbolism of Buddha's thought or Buddha himself. They don't worship or they don't depict any image of Buddha, but there are number of symbols such as Buddha. When Bhagavan Buddha got enlightened under the tree of Ashwatha, that is people tree. So that people tree became as a symbol of his enlightenment. After his nirvana, they constructed stupa over his relics. That particular stupa is symbol of his nirvana. So these are the symbols they used. They never allowed to worship images. After that, when Mahayana introduced, this is another sect of Buddhism, they introduced Buddha images. They introduced Bodhisattvas images. And this is the difference in between two thoughts. One thought, that is Heenan, they never worship Buddha's image. They worship only symbolic formation or symbolic depiction of Buddha without images. Whereas Mahayanist, they only worship images, including stupas also. It means that they are also believing the older tradition, that is Mahayana. Now,
म्हणजे आपण
now
पनवेलवरून गोवा ट्रेन तिथे या टायमाला जाऊ ना आपण.
Hello. So this is the different in between two thoughts. One that don't believe in images. They believe only images of Buddha. They believe only in the symbols. Whereas another, that is Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they created the images of Buddha. It means that Mahayanist, you will say that whatever you see Buddha, image of Buddha, Bodhisattva's image, this is under the Mahayanist thought. Once you will understand this, then you will understand what exactly Ajanta is. Now, the inaugural phase of Ajanta was actually Heenanist. And later, the last phase of Ajanta, that was under the Mahayanist. Now, scholars says that these all are Sarvastivadin. So this is another sect of Buddhism, because there are number of sect in Buddhism. Accordingly, we'll find there are paintings and there are sculptures are coined, or there are sculptures and paintings are painted or carved. So if you are studying Ajanta or Buddhism, you must understand this. Now, the most important discovery of the 19th century was that of Ajanta caves and their paintings, discovered by British Army officers in 1819. James Alexander, who visited this first after the discovery of this Ajanta caves, and he described these caves in his paper, in 1830, and his paper attracted number of scholarly circles to study their art and architecture of Ajanta. The caves devoted to Buddhism, mainly Hinayana, that is also called as Sravakayana or Theravada also, and Mahayana, that is also called as the Bodhisattvayana. The early and inaugural phase at Ajanta is dedicated to the Hinayana phase, the oldest form of Buddhism. The later excavations are mostly dedicated to the Mahayana, which practiced the worship of Buddha in human form. Just I described you what exactly difference in between this. Now, as mentioned in one of the inscriptions, there are a number of inscriptions at Ajanta, but there are three inscriptions are most important. One, which is outside of cave number 16 in the veranda, and another which is again at cave number 17, and another which is at which is in the cave number 26. So these inscriptions mentioning number of things, kings and all, and even who donated this. For example, there is cave number 16. The donor was Varahadeva. He's donated. He made the donation to carve this vihara, and actually he has given the all genealogy of his Vakataka kings. And as mentioned in one of the inscription, especially in cave number 16, the paintings means what exactly they have mentioned. They have mentioned number of things, kings and all. His name also means donor's name, but including this, he says that means Varadeva says that the paintings were dedicated to the Buddha. The inscription beautifully narrates that Gavaksha, Niryuha, Suvithi Vedika, Surendra Kanya, Pratima Aditya Alankritam, Manohara Stamba Vibhangani, Veshita, Abhyantara Chaitya Mandiram. This is in Sanskrit actually. The dwelling, what it mean, what it actually what it is written in this inscription. The dwelling, which is adorn the windows, that is Gavakshas, the doors, that is Niryuha, and all those things beautifully depicted or beautifully decorated with beautiful pictures, picture galleries, or religious statues of nymphs or apsaras of Indra and like, which is ornamented with beautiful pillars, means they are all ornamented on pillars and walls and inside this vihara, and stairs, and has a temple of the Buddha inside. So whatever you see today in cave number 16, all those things are written in this inscription. It means that that was painted in those days. Still, you will find it is some sort of many surfaces are still intact, thanks to our elements that they preserved all those things. But vandalism was very bad. That's why in British period there were number of people who took pieces off from these surfaces, and they after that they destroyed in mud. So there are number of places, number of vandalism, number of people who went there to see these paintings. They vandalized number of paintings. That is different story. It means that in cave number 16, all those things are mentioned. Now, if you see in these caves altogether, 26 caves are there. You will find only few caves are preserved their paintings on the surfaces of walls and ceilings. Otherwise, number of caves were already painted, but unfortunately, number of caves are now in bad condition regarding these paintings only. But cave number 1, cave number 2, cave number 16, and cave number 17. In these caves, you will find ceilings and walls are even in veranda also, even in cells are there. The cells are also preserved, very large surfaces of paintings inside this caves. Now, when you enter inside, what you will find? You will find the caves are beautifully decorated with sculptures as well as paintings also. For example, here you will find on the ceiling, the whole ceiling is painted, whereas these pillars and this particular upper part, that is called as a lalata bimba or upper, architrave. That is also carved, and these are the beautiful pillars with carved festoons, and pearl strings are there, pearls garlands are there. They are very beautifully decorated inside this. This is not all other caves. There you will find some different decoration. But what this I will show you all those another pictures. There you will find number of caves are mostly painted and even sculptured, carved with beautiful sculptures also. So this is cave number 20, and this as I feel that this is one of the best, one of the beautiful cave in this group. Now the ceiling of cave number 17, you will find the whole ceiling of veranda is once it was painted. Still, it is a large part of ceiling is still intact. There you will find the painting is on the top. This is the central medallion, and if you see very carefully, there is this figure, this figure, this figure, this figure. Actually, if you see very close, you will find this is actually dance of apsaras. They are in the heaven. They are dancing in the heaven. It means that the whole ceiling is symbolically forming the heaven of the Buddha's heaven, and there all those apsaras are there. They are depicted very beautifully on the ceiling. You mean that whatever ceiling is there, now the ceiling is turned into the different lokas or different universe, different world is there. So altogether, inch and inch was painted earlier, but this is the mass surface. This is the medallion, and all those apsaras are dancing. And if you see carefully, they have formed a design with only two hands. It means that two hands means you will not find each figure has two hands. Altogether, two hands are there only. They are very beautifully composed in each other. Actually, there are only two hands for one figure only. Otherwise, other figures, they don't have hands. But once you will see these figures, you will find, oh, it is composed like, you can see all together their hands. It means that these people, they were knowing how to make, illusions, and how to make, figures, full figures through illusions. Because you all are students of fine arts. That's why I'm telling you how these people or these artists, they thought about how to depict figures. So it means that this is not only the style, but there are a number of things you have to observe. Once you will observe, you will find the different notions of their paint brush or their pencils and their canvases. Accordingly, they painted. So it means that they are also that much creative. What we think that today we are creative, but this is the thing that how they are creative. After the discovery of these paintings, British government appointed this Robert Gill, who as an artist to copy these paintings, and he started copying all those Ajanta paintings in very harsh climate and very hard positions, because it was very difficult to reach each and every cave. But he managed all those things. He went inside the caves and he copied number of painting. He made his studio over there in cave number 22. So this was his studio. It was in around 1885, or in between 1844 to 1885. So this is the studio, and here these are the helpers with him, and they helped him to copy all those paintings. But unfortunately, this is his painting. We have only the copy of a photograph of his painting. Unfortunately, when he dispatched all his complete paintings to London in Crystal Palace, but unfortunately that Crystal Palace on fire, and all those paintings he painfully copied. Number of paintings were destroyed in that fire. So we have only the copy of his painting in black and white. And in those days, around 1885, some artist, I think this is from John Simpson's. Sorry, I forgot his name. Who went there and he made this color painting, inside of cave number 19, and you will find the debris and how these people, they are just making their food inside. And this all, soothe actually, which was covered over the surfaces of painting, and you will find number of paintings were turned into the blackish surface over their surface over the paintings, and they sometimes you will find they are not that much visible, because number of people who went there, they made they started behaving like this inside the caves. Even there is another sketch which was painted by one of the famous artists and an archaeologist, James Burgess. And here you will find he has painted, or he has made a sketch of inside the cave number 9 and 9. And here you will find the whole area, the whole inside area was filled with debris, and you will find there were a number of broken pillars inside. Now we have only this because otherwise, if you go there in Ajanta, you will find all those caves are now very well preserved. This is another painting, a sketch of painting. Now it is badly destroyed by making signs over the surfaces of a painting. And this is only, we have only line drawing of this, so you can understand what exactly the style and all those. These paintings belongs to dates back to first century BC or AD. This is under the Satavahanas. That time Satavahanas were ruling over this Maharashtra region or in South Indian region. And similarly, if you find out in 5th century AD, Vakatakas were ruling in the region. Now, when you go inside the caves, there you will find the paintings are vastly painted over the surfaces of ceilings and the walls of these caves, even though you will find on the pillars also. Now, if you'll come on the theory of art in those days, then you will understand what exactly thought behind the art in those days. If you want to know about this, you have to reach, or you have to go to library, and you have to see Vishnu Dharmottar Puran. Though it is a Puran, but in that Puran you will find there is a chapter dedicated to art, fine art. Now in this chapter, they have described number of things, techniques and paintings and many other things, even iconography and many other things, how to make canvases. Canvases means the walls, the ingredients in that particular material. Many things they have described. Now, the idea behind making art in those days was very, very pious, very, very divine. For example, here there is a shloka. Here there is a shloka which describes that Kalanam Pravaram Chitram Dharma Kamartha Mokshadam Mangalyam Prathamam Chedata Gruhe Yatra Pratishtitam. Now, what exactly it means? It means that painting is the finest form of art, which gives all kinds of merits, wealth, desire, and deliverance to life. It is the first of the auspicious things to be enshrined in the house. What it means? Painting is not a simple painting to decorate your wall. It has number of things. It gives you wealth and desires, and even the merit also. It means that here it is described that mokshadam. Moksha, it is not last stage of our life. Moksha, it means the ananda, that joy. When you see your painting, when you see your ad, what you will feel? You will feel very, very satisfaction. That particular satisfaction is depend on your painting, on your art, on your whatever creativity. That is moksha actually. That is not our last on the deathbed. That after that you will find the moksha after the death. It is ananda, it is joy. So this is the ideology behind that. Once you will understand this, then what was in those days about painting? What actually painting was there? If you go Ramayana, Mahabharata, Matsya Puran, or Kama Sutra, and there are number of texts, even in Buddhist texts also, Sutta Nipata, Sanyukta Nikaya, Vishuddhimaka, Mahavansa, Attasalini, Manjushri Mulakalpa, Uttaradhyayana Sutra. There are number of texts. In that text, it is mentioned that the paintings are there to decorate walls and even stupas and many other things. It means that paintings were, the part of our life. So there are number of, a number of texts you will find. The paintings are most suggested. Paintings are most important. Now, places of paintings where you can paint your paintings: chitrashalas, that is galleries, or gruha, that is your houses, drupale, palaces, and devale, that is all temples and all. Even what exactly the difference between mural or other techniques of painting? So there you'll find the murals. It means that Vitti Chitra. Vitti Chitra means Bhinti Chitra. You can paint your painting on the walls. That is called as a Vitti Chitra. Then there is a surface you use, that is canvas, that is cloth, that is khadira or dusapatta, and there is another medium that is called as a wooden panel. So it means that you can make your paintings all over the surface of your walls, even on the piece of cloth and wooden panels also. Now, if you go in Western art or Western, thought of Western techniques of painting, you will find the canvas painting is late introduced in 12th century or in between 11th, 12th century AD. But in Ajanta, I will show you the piece where you will find earlier the cloth was pasted. Over that cloth, the painting was actually completed over the surface of cloth. It means that dusapatta, the cloth, was also a medium for making paintings. It means that is a canvas. Now, after that, what exactly mural? Mural is Bhutti Chitra, or even Kudde Chitra. Again, it's a wall. Now, mural is actually Latin word, and this is mur means in French meaning wall. Now, there are two techniques of making paintings over this wall. One, that is fresco buono and fresco secco. Now, what exactly the fresco? Because this fresco is very familiar word for us. If you're studying in fine art, if you are studying even in applied art, fresco, everywhere you will find the frescoes. If you go in Sistine Chapel, you will find there are beautiful frescoes over the Sistine walls and ceilings of Sistine Chapel by Michelangelo. But there is a difference. Why we are calling Ajanta paintings as a mural? The difference lies in between this fresco buono and fresco secco. What exactly fresco buono? Fresco buono is painting on wet plaster. Immediately, if you go for lime plaster, you have to paint immediately. That means that wet plaster. Fresco secco, the painting on plaster wall. After the drying, you can take your pigments, add some adhesives, and you can paint whenever you will get time. So it has a time. There is no hurry to paint over these surfaces. So this particular technique is called as a fresco secco. Now there is a tempera, which you can say that painting on dry wall, pigments tempered or mixed with gum or glue, and sgraffito. Sgraffito, you can scratch, doing scratching figures, scratching over the wall, and in this drawing you can paint your colors with figures with colors. So this is the difference in between fresco, wet fresco, and dry fresco. Now there are many terms that varnaka, hastaka, chitra, ardha chitra, vidha chitra, chitra bhasa. I will show you how. Now there are number of terms. We know only today that we have only the terms in our regular education in art. But in those days there were number of terms. I will show you how. Now, binding medium, that is also called as a vajralepa. You can make some animal glue. You can make some vegetable glue such as babul or other tree glue, and you can mix your adhesive inside that or in the pigment, not inside, in the pigment, and you can paint your colors. I will show you how that colors are. And that particular binding medium, if it is very fast, sticking very fast, and which is very permanent, that is called as a Vajralep. Vajralep means pakka. It's very fast. It's very sticky. Now, Vartikas, there are number of, crayons, pencils are there. How to make pencils? They are also described. Means pencils means not like our graphite pencils. If you collect some powder of coal or powder of, lamb black, and if you mix that lamb black in your boiled rice, and if you make some, sticks, and if you keep for drying, you can use these sticks even today for your crayon on canvas also. So these are the canvas, and here they have suggested, or they have given some ingredients how to make crayons. Now there is a tulikas, lekhni or brush. So there are number of brush. Surprisingly, we are using today the same brushes, same kurcha, the flat brush actually, or you can say the spoon brush or round-headed brush also. So there are three varieties of brush: medium, fine, and another that is five types of varieties of flat brush, that is called as a kurcha, hasta, bhasha. So these are the names. And tulikas are like shape of batankura, and there are some fine brushes which are in the shape of batankura. It means the you must be knowing that vatavruksha. I will show you how. Then there is a ashwatha vruksha. So if you'll observe the sprout of ashwatha and sprout of this vata vruksha or people vruksha, you will find the shape of brush. How it is, I will show you. Even palaksha or palasa also. So this is actually, if you see, this is pimple sprout. You can see this is the brush. Actually, brush means they have given the shape how it should be. It should be the sprout of people tree, so it has a bending tip. Now another brush which has a tip of this vatankura. Vatankura means banyan tree. The sprout, exactly the sprout of vadavruksha or vatavruksha. How it is, I will show you this. So these are the brush. And if you try on your paper, if you make such a large tipped brush which has a bending tip, you will find the lines are very sharp, because it is like a sweeping your line. It is not disturbing your hands, vibrations, and it will be us. It will, you can draw or you can paint very straight or rhythmic line through this very fine brush, which has a bending tip. So these particular brushes are used for making lines or outlines or rhythmic lines. If you'll go to Jaipur today, you will find a similar type of brushes are still in use with this in this modern era also. And this is Vatankura, or sprout of Vada or Ashwatha tree. Now there are colors pigment. Now our theory is similarly, but their original, or the main colors are different. So this is called as a Moola Varna. So these colors are Shweta, that is white, Rakta red, Pita yellow, Krishna black or blue, then Haritala green or yellow also, and Neela blue. These all are Shuddha Varnas, pure colors, considered as a pure colors. Similarly, we have red, blue, and yellow. These are our main colors. Then black is nothing but a lamb black. Red for Gairika or Geru. Then blue from indigo or Rajavardha, that is lapis lazuli, and yellow, it's yellow powder or hartal. I will show you how these colors are. Then gold, pure gold, and abraka or mica is also is also used in painting. Now this is Geru. Today, if you collect some geru, if you'll add some glue inside in the powder of this geru, you will find there is a beautiful Indian red. Even you can make your assignments with these colors. So this is actually red ochre. This is iron oxide, means composition of iron. But there you'll find many varieties of dark, medium, and very blackish in geru, and there is also yellowish geru also, yellowish red. So you can use these colors in your painting also. Similarly, these colors are used in your paintings. Now there is in Ajanta painting. Sorry. Now this is actually one of the most celebrated color in Ajanta. This is actually the lapis lazuli. Lapis lazuli is not locally available in India. It is available, the pigment is available in Afghanistan. Once you will understand this is not local color, it is borrowed from another region, that is Afghanistan, then you will understand the artist who used this color, which is actually imported from Afghanistan. And this color, this is actually the stone. And after crushing the stone, you will find this going, after the powder, you will find this going whiter and whiter. It means that sky blue. But there is a recipe to make exact blue from these stones. This you will find these are the stones of lapis lazuli. And after crushing, after many process, you will find this color, this pigment, this pure blue pigment, which is used in Ajanta. It means that this color is not locally available in Ajanta, which is used in Ajanta. It is from Afghanistan. Now, collecting color from Afghanistan, it is not only the business of importing color from Afghanistan. Now, if you are studying art history, you must be knowing that region of Afghanistan earlier in ancient days was known as a region of Gandhar. And Gandhar, you must be knowing, there is a different style of sculpture, that is Gandhar school. Now, if that color is imported, then definitely there must be some influence of that region on Ajanta. So how? That I will show you in next painting. Now, this Rajavardha is used in Leonardo's painting. Is very beautifully used. Now, in those days, I heard that if you artist or client wanted to apply or wanted to use blue colors debris in his painting, which was commissioned, the painting would be more costly. It means that color was very costly. Artist would demand more money for that because of this particular color. This is just someone told me that this was the very very costly color in those days too. Now this is actually the yellow ochre. If you go in Mandai, still you will get this color because there are a number of houses still use this paint to paint their walls. Then there is a green earth. If you go on the Ferguson Tekli behind this Ferguson College, you will find some lumps of this color. These all colors are locally available in the premises of Ajantan area. So all those pigments are used mostly for the region. Even some pigments are vegetable origin. Now this is the wall, and they applied some thick layer mixed with rice husk and many other ingredients in it, and applied over the surfaces of wall, which was finely chiseled to hold your plaster over the surface of this. And after that, they applied lime wash, very fine lime wash, to make it white. And after that, they started their painting with line drawings and applied colors inside in this line, and then they made some shading in that painting. How? I will show you in the next slide. Now this is actually the dissection. This is actually the section of another cave of a plaster, which for your understanding, this is actually the rice husk and all, which is mixed in mud. And over to this, they have applied this green, yellow, sorry, a white surface, and these are the black lines over that. It means that particularly painting, which you see in Ajanta today, this is not only to paint on directly on wall, but there is a perfect plaster, that is canvas, made, and there is a lime wash, and after that they painted the surfaces of this wall and ceilings. Here, last just before this, in the beginning, I have told you about the cloth. Now earlier, in one of the cave at Ajanta, the cloth was pasted. Unfortunately, someone went there when that is not known, actually took off that piece of cloth and destroyed that painting, but impression is there. Now if you go close to this impression, this particular area, you will find there are pieces of this. If you'll see very close, so this is the impression of cloth which was earlier pasted over the plaster, mud plaster, fine mud plaster. That's why you will find the quality of cloth. If you press your canvas on the mud, fine mud, you will find the same impression over the mud. So it means that with the help of this, you can understand what quality of cloth was there, which was pasted over the surface of this. Now, again, you can say that these people, they were using shading also, because earlier days in the through Westerners, art tradition, they thought that Indians, they never knows about how to use shading. But at Ajanta, you will find there is a shading that is called as a vartana. Now, these vartanas, means shadings, are three kinds or three forms. That is patra, hairika, and binduja. What exactly patra? Patra is nothing but a crisscross line, exactly like dry, leaf, people leaf. You will find that dry leaf of people, you will find there are very fine lines. What we do illustrations today in crisscross lines, that is called as a patraja. The hairika is nothing but a stumping, small lines, you can make shading, or you can make roundity over your on your object. Then binduja is nothing but a stippling. So what Ajantan artists were using those days, still we are using the similar technique in our illustrations till today. Now there are styles: Satya, Vainika, Nagara, and Mishra. Satya means realistic. Whatever you see, you can paint. Vainika, it has stylized. Some scholars have suggested this may be stylized or lyrical. Nagara, a test depend on what you see in citizens. Means our test is different, though we are staying in Nagara. So our layout and our thought is different to depict figures and all. But if you go in villages, their thought is different. So that's why it is called as a Nagara. It means that your taste, if you are staying in Nagara. And then Mishra, all the three styles are Mishra, mix. So these are the styles which are described in Vishnu Dharmottara Puran. Then postures. There are a number of postures. Rujvagata, frontal. Then Sachikrita, half, means one eye. Then Ardhyaksha, the similar thing. Chayagata, from backside. Parshvagata, even backside. Then turned one. Ganda Parivritta, that is turned one. Extremely, twisted body. Ajanta paintings has, number of, things, that number of figures. There you will find twisted figures are there, which is not naturally. But to enhance figures, they twisted very beautifully. Even you will not understand, oh, this is twisted or not. So it makes very pleasant, form of a figure. If you'll find there is a twist in their postures. Then Parshvagata, backside, and then that is also called as a Parshvagata Parivrita. Now, what exactly this Anuraju? So this is actually half the eye you can see here from that side, and full from this side. This is called as a anuruju, means slightly turned your face. Then this is actually the chayagata, the profile, what we do today. Now this is actually ardhya It means that the half eye is there and half eye is here. Now here in this painting, you will find actually this is the picture from Vesantara Jataka. Now there is one of the Pandit, it is depicted, but you can see his greed. Actually, the story, very long story is there, but he is there in the Darbar of Raja. Actually, he wanted to sell his students, or actually he is there to get something from Raja. So story is different. I'm not going in detail because here it is intention is not to tell you story, but tell you the illustration. So here you will find that figure of a Pandit is here. Why this Pandit? How one can understand this is Pandit? So if you see, there are some symbolic formation in the figures. If you see his ear, you will find the the elongated or long, ear. So that is a symbol of very learned person. And similarly, he is holding chhatra, another strata of society. So it means that each and every individual, once he will understand the symbology or iconography of a particular figure, he will immediately understand what exactly this particular image is of. Means whether this is Brahmin, this is Sainik or soldier, who is this? You will understand immediately when you understand the symbolic formation of body or other things. Even you can see the lines and this lines, this depiction of his hair. So it is very curly and all, which gives the impression of his greediness, his lust. Everything is there. It means that these artists, they were very sensitive to make their lines sensitive accordingly to their swabhava or their inner sense. Similarly, they used to paint through their lines. That's why Indian art is mostly based on linear surfaces or linear depiction. And in that line, each and every line is like a speaking line, or these lines can talk with you once you will talk with them. So resha is most important in Indian art. Even it is described in Vishnu Dharmottara Puran that your line should be very strong, very default defaultless. There should not be default. Each your line should be relical, should be very strong, because line is most important, which portray the swabhava or bhava or essence of particular inner sense of particular figure, what you are going to depict. It means that line is most important in Indian drawing. Now, these are the figures. This is actually chayagata from backside. This is mixed in parshvagata as chayagata, parshvagata, and somewhat twisted. And this is actually the twisted body. You will not immediately understand, oh, this is twisted or not. The torso is twisted actually, and this area is also twisted. So there are number of places, number of lines. You will find, oh, this is somewhat twisted. You cannot see if you are from if you are there, someone is standing at your one side, he will see you only in profile, not your backside. But here the backside and all area which is twisted and which is visible here. Now, what exactly the aesthetics behind this? So Indian art, their artists or Indian art, they are not thinking what you are means what you are means what you look, what exactly you are in really. If you are there standing in front of me, I can see you. I can see your body. Oh, whether you are what you are wearing and all. If you are there as a very poor man, if you are wearing very poor clothes, if you are very rich man, if you are wearing very rich clothes, I can understand, oh, this is rich, this is very poor. And how he looks, black, white, or whatever. Colors are there, number of colors are there. But Indian art never thought of your how you look from outer body. We forget. We don't know anything. What you are? You are poor or you are rich. But we peep inside your mind. We peep inside your inner soul. If you are beautiful from the inner side, I will paint you very beautifully manner. It means that we believe in your inner sense, not outer sense. Because there are number of pandits, they are poor, but their depictions are very beautifully depicted. Each and every their panditya or their scholarliness, you will find sprayed over their body. You will find they are defined through the lines. Similarly, if you are rich, if you are a king, but still you are very, very faithful, very, very great, definitely your painting would be like that. It means that we know that what exactly inner side. How to paint inner side? This is very difficult to understand. Here, Indian art or Indian literature given you some norms. What those norms are? Those norms are based on nature. Go and learn something from nature. Now here, if you wanted to draw a body of a person, try to understand the shape of, this buffalo, this outside. And if you draw this outer side, you will exactly find the rhythmic movement of your chest, of your torso, the part of your torso. Now, what beauty lies in female torso? So that should be damru kati. Damru, you know that what exactly damru and how the damru shape is. If you'll observe this damru, you will find this damru kati. Then if you draw this damru kati, definitely you will find the rhythmic movement in your figures. So whatever that live rhythm from that Sundari, if you wanted to capture that Sundari, the rhythm while she is walking, try to understand what Damru shape is. The guy is very beautiful. So what that beautiful word lies in. So understand how that Damru is, how that rhythmic movement of that Damru outline. Try to understand that Damru. Then how your eyes are. So eyes, actually there you can portray your bhavas or your swabhav, your thought, what you are thinking about inside your mind, that may represented through your eyes. So all those eyes are dependent on the shapes of nature, such as what exactly we say that Kamalaksha. What Kamala? Kamala is a lotus. Aksha is nothing but an eye. Kamalaksha, what exactly it means? Kamalaksha. Kamalaksha means if you take a flower of Kamal, that is lotus, and if you draw a petal of this Kamal, this is a petal, you will find the shape of your eye. What this eye portray? This portray the tranquility, the peace of mind, shanti, and divinity. Then there is a Meenakshi. What exactly means fish. If you draw the outline of this fish, you will find this is the Meenakshi. So Meenakshi, it is very chanchal. It's very fast moving. It means that what that particular bhav, that bhav should be you can portray that particular bhav of that chanchalness, that very fastness of your mind through this particular shape of meena, that akshar. Then your nose, that is shukanasika. Shuka means poppet or that parrot. If you'll observe the very sharp and curved line of that shuka, if you draw this, you will find that particular shukanasika, and it will add the beauty in your face. Then there is a naka.
nose, sorry, how that nose should be, your nose should be like Chafekali. That's a very famous Marathi word, that Chafekali. So this is actually the bird of Champaka flower. If you go to observe that Chafa or Champaka, you will find the bird is like this. If you draw this outline, you will find the Chafekali nose, the lyrical nose, outline of lyrical nose. So these are the composition of your body. Then there are gestures and postures of your hand. So we call that Charana Kamala. What exactly Charana Kamala? Charana and Kamala both are comparable. For example, this is actually the petals of lotus, and over that lotus you will find the Buddha is there. Buddha's charana is there. Now you cannot differentiate it between Buddha's charana and this lotus. They are Kamala charana. So whatever sense of Kamala, once you will understand what exactly Kamal, it is very tender. It is very beautiful. It is very divine. So all those things are, you will find in this charana. If you wanted to add this all divinity and all those things, observe this lotus. Try to understand the rhythm of that lotus, and try to understand after the understanding, try to visualize the feet of that Lord Buddha. You will find his feet, his charans are like very tender, very beautiful. Once you will understand, once you will touch him, you will feel the heaven. You will feel the fullness of your mind. So that should be added through the observation of Kamala, because there is no difference in between that lotus and Lord Buddha's or any divinity's charana. So this essence, if you wanted to capture, try to understand nature. So here there is another posture, that is Kadali. Kadali means banyan tree. Banana tree. If you observe the banana tree, it has, once you will touch that banana tree, you will find it has very slender, and the lines are very swift. So the torso of a female should be very swift, should be very tender, should be very beautiful. It has some rhythm, and that rhythm you will capture observing through this banana tree. Now we'll go in Ajanta paintings. I think I'm 4:30. Should I stop here or should I continue?
Sir, you can continue for some time more, because I know this is very interesting,
yes.
but I can see that we are only at 56
I will
slide.
within 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
No, it's okay. So this is actually the painting. Here you will find Ajanta paintings are not actually the illustrations, means in that another sense. They are not in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are the narratives. It means that once you will understand the difference between illustrative and narrative, illustrations you can see like comics, 1, 2, 3, 4. But here there must be some person to tell you the story. So story starts somewhere else and ends somewhere else. So there must be some person who is telling you the story. Why he is there? Because these stories are not only to see the stories, they are propagating the paramitas, the virtues of Buddha who passed through his past birth. Now inside the caves you will find there are walls and ceilings are painted like this. This will go very fast, and these are the walls and pillars, and the surface of this pillar is exactly whatever area is defined, or whatever area is given, accordingly they have painted the standing Buddha or seated Buddha at accordingly the space. And here you will find, this is the Buddha. Here you will find the influence of Gandhara. Last time I told you this actually, this. So this is Gandhara sculpture. And if you compare this, you will find the lines are similarly. It means that it is not a question of how they are imported the pigment, but similarly, we know even these people, they were knowing about Gandhara sculptures, and accordingly they studied number of sculptures, and accordingly they painted this. Now here you will find the stippling. This is lapis lazuli, and this is applied as a stippling. And here you will find the sfumato, or very fine stippling. This is shade and light. So people, they were Britishers or Westerners, they early understand that these people, they don't have any sense of using shade and light, but this is very beautifully depicted shade and light in this Apsara. Now, here you will find the same thing. This is Vajrapani, and similarly, the composition. I will finish within this. The composition is in this architectural squarish form. Now, each figure is telling you the story, how they are related to each other. For example, if you see this composition, I will go close. Now, this particular figure is looking somewhere else. Definitely we'll see that figure, what she is doing. Similarly, if you see her eye, she will take you there to see this particular face, and this face will take you through her hand to see this particular face, and this particular face will take you off from this frame. It means that each and every figure is taking you in the composition whatever artist wanted to take you there. It means that each and every limb, each and every part of their bodies are telling you the story through their movement of their limbs. That's why John Griffith, who was principal of Bombay School of Art, JJ Schools of Art earlier, who studied this, and he says that this is the different from the entire world because each and every limb of their paintings are telling you the direction, telling you the sense, telling you the bhavas and many other things through their limbs. It means all those things are very live. They are not exactly replicated through the what you see in realistic. So these are the exactly the composition of the paintings. And this is actually the one story. In that one story, elephant actually who is charged to kill Buddha, and here you will find the same elephant is running, and when he saw Buddha, he subdued his all fast and all his mind. He changed, and he subdued in front of his all his force and all those things in front of Buddha, because here you will find the how one elephant, but here you will find two elephants are there, which telling you the story of one elephant in two parts. Here, how they have defined the part in two pillars. So each and every pillar's frame, it is individual frame, and entire scene is divided in this pillar. Now here you will find the story. Inside you can see what exactly inside the Vada, that palace, there are some people. So how you can depict what exactly happening inside your behind the wall. So there is a window, and you can see, you can show what exactly inside there are some people, they are also peeping outside. So see, here you will find 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are the people. Actually, they are similarly exactly the copies. The same tracing is used. Similarly, like this color, the same, but colors are used differently. So I think we'll stop here. And here I will show you how the composition is. This is dying princess. How one can say that dying? She is dying. She has see her movement of her body. All people, they are just dasis and all. They are rushing behind her because there is a story. Now her husband is going for Sangha, and he will never back. When she heard this news, she fainted, and immediately she is like she became as a dying, and she is a princess. That's why this called as a dying princess. But how that dyingness of her body, how it is depicted? For go on the top to see this more or peacock. The bird is also actually the bird is also fainted, and here you will find there is a banyan tree that is also the leaf of that banyan tree. There is also, you will find there are some destroyed, destroyed. It means that cut. You will find that cuts are there. It means that banyan tree, the leaf of that banyan tree is not that much fresh. Similarly, like her this body of her of this princess. I think we'll stop here, and sometime next we'll continue another part of this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It's such an honor, and we all are very much aware of the vastness and extravagance of Ajanta caves overall. But sir has explained us
Yeah.
in, and the title, which is like the visual dialogue. It's like for every step of the way we could understand that, and we are really grateful to have you, sir, today. And this be in another session as well, because I know there is a lot you would like to tell us, and we would like to hear as well. If there are any questions, we will take them briefly, and you can post them in the chat box. Viewers who are watching on Facebook Live, they can post it on Facebook page, and we will try to address them. This is going to be on our Facebook page. This is also going to be on our YouTube channel. So please, refer to it. This is an amazing opportunity to refer as a layman, as an artist, as a history student, and everyone. So thank you so much, Shrikant sir. And I would now invite Dr.
Thank you.
Shruti ma'am to express her thank you.
Yes, so I'll just, meanwhile, when people are thinking about if they want to ask anything, how to frame it, I'll just address. Uh, Dr. Shrikant Pradhan sir, thank you so much for doing this session with us. I have to thank all my faculty for their support, and also the student community, which is big part of these SoVA talks. They are not only the consumers, they are also the facilitators. They are part of organizing. So thank you all the students. Um, I will like to mention this to you, sir, that we feel very blessed, because of the kind of leadership that we have. Our executive president, Dr. Rahul V. Karar, sir, he is extremely visionary, and all our endeavors, including these SoVA talks, they are towards making School of Visual Arts from MIT World Peace University, one of the finest colleges that India can offer within the coming 4 to 5 years. And we have started that journey already. And you are a big part of facilitating this, because if we can have people like you who come and talk, then I think that the richness of the school increases and our students are getting enriched. We are able to create society which is little more aware about art, not only art but also about applied art and its role. Because whenever I see any of Indian art, I really like to say this, that it's not pure art for the sake of art. It is always driven by a purpose, and which is the crux of applied arts, and the way you were explaining beautifully the semiotics and symbology within each and every element line that is being used to depict something or the other, to mean something or the other, the kind of communication it makes, I think itself is a part of designing the whole images and making it useful art, which I'm sure the people of that society must have been inspired from, educated from, and facilitated for taking their own spiritual journey ahead. I also feel that our art is abundant with science, and you were mentioning about the colors, types of surfaces, types of bondings and materials. I think it's also science, isn't it, that facilitates this kind of art at that kind of a stature. So we as artists should be very proud of being applied artists, and as being people who can use the art for the sake of people. And uh, and that's where I feel that the school is going towards. And thank you so much for this. I will also like to mention our director, Dr. Guru Prasad Rao sir, and thank him for always supporting us and making these kind of sessions possible. um, Definitely, I'd like to thank
Yes.
today Pallavi ma'am for this amazing anchoring that she does, and Chinmay for starting the session, and I'm sure also closing the session. So I have kind of summed up. So I will hand it back over to you, Pallavi ma'am, for the closure or questions.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Is there any question?
Actually, currently
Sorry.
there is no question, but I'm sure people have requested on the chat box that they need another session altogether. So that is something we are really looking forward for.
And one more thing, I think our director for media and communication, Dr. Dheeraj Singh, had come in the session. Is he still there? If he's there, I'll like to request him to start his video, and I'd like to introduce you, sir.
Namaskar.
I'm not able to see, sir, somehow.
Achha.
Anyways, so what happens is, this is the beauty of it, you know, when we are doing these sessions, we are sharing them with other stakeholders from the MIT World Peace University, our directors, deans. They know about these sessions, and many of them often attend online or on the social platforms, and that is how we, you know, contribute to each other. Takeaways are there for each other, and I think that's the beauty of these SoVA talks. So Shrikant Pradhan sir, thank you again.
Thank you very much for inviting me here. Thank you very much, all those people who invited me here to talk something on Ajanta. But Ajanta is, you know, actually earlier I was just thinking how I can complete within 1 hour. So it was very difficult for me. So that's why
we'll be inviting you for elaborate sessions now. We'll plan for that soon, because we can't miss these sessions. They are amazing, and I am hoping that next time it can be for the closed college audience, where we can have you in person, and that would be wonderful. I think.
Definitely, that would be very great.
Yes. So
thank you very much. Thanks.
Over to Pallavi ma'am for closure. Chinmay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you everyone who is attending on Zoom, Facebook, or will watch later on YouTube. As we come to the end of this session, we will conclude the session with Pasaidan, which is a tradition of MITWP.
Sir, we always end our sessions with Pasaidan. It's a beautiful ending, so we are doing the same.
Yes.
विश्वात्मके देवे येने वाग्यज्ञे तोषावे तोषोनि मदजावे पसाय दान जे खळांती व्यंकटी सांदो सत्कर्मी रतिवाढ भूता परस्परे पडो मैत्र जीवांचे दुरिताचे तिमिरदा विश्वस्वधर्म सूर्ये पाहो जो देवांशील तो तेला हो प्राणी जात वर्षत सकळ मंगळी ईश्वर निष्ठांची मांदियाळी अनवरत भूमंडळी भेट तू भूता चला कल्पतरूंचे आरव चेतना चिंतामणीचे गाव बोलते जे अर्णव पियुषाचे चंद्रमे जे मार्तंड देता बहीण ते सर्वाही सदा सज्जन सोय रे हो तू किंबहुना सर्व सुखी पूर्ण हो जो आदि पुरुषी अखंडित आणि ग्रंथोपजीविये विशेषी लोकीये दृष्टादृष्ट विजये हो आवे जी येथ म्हणे श्री विश्वेश्वराव हा होईल दान पसावो येणे वरे ज्ञान देवो सुखिया
Thank you, everybody who is attending. Sir, we'll get back to you soon. And thank you once again. We will be closing this session now.
Thank you very much.